Welcome. You are listening live with Midwest Manufactured Live, where we tell the stories of great manufacturers, what they're doing in their area to make the world a better place, some of the lessons that they've learned and how they've applied those and what they see in the future. Now, I'm your host, Jason Todd. I'm publisher of Midwest Manufactured and also managing director of Thinker Ventures, a business development company in the area. Today, our special guest is Mike Crandall from Crandall Stats and Sensors, a gentleman we just met a handful of months ago, and we're excited to have him here to talk about Crandall Stats and Sensors and the great thing that you're doing in the area. Now, Crandall Stats and Sensors is a kind of a young company. Tell us how Crandall Stats and Sensors came to be and what your journey has been thus far.
It's a young company, but it got its start back with Howard Coleman back around 1900.
Wow.
And one of his first inventions actually is this hand nodder.
Okay.
And the patent for that was actually about 1901. But anyways, through the years, I've tried to pattern how I do business after Howard Coleman. He was just a tremendous problem solver. And as an example, that hand nodder, there was problems in the weaving industry where people had to tie the ends of the strings for the weaving machines, and he saw that there was an opportunity to.
And so this is a knotting device that
ties the knot and cuts off the thread.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an inventor, much like you're kind of an inventor. So you're carrying this. Tell us, you're carrying this legacy of Howard Coleman forward into Crandall Stats and Sensors. How's that work?
The line of thinking as much as possible. If you see a problem, use that to your advantage and create a solution that hopefully is profitable and makes life safer, products more efficient, better quality.
So Crandall Stats and Sensors, this is a far cry from Stats and Sensors. Talk to us. What's the legacies?
Howard Coleman morphed into a whole bunch of different divisions. Yeah. There was textiles, small motors. In the 1920s, they came up with thermostats and actuators for the HVAC world. Go forward quite a few more years Barber Colman eventually sold to CB, who converted into Invensys, who sold to Schneider Electric. The Stats and Sensors was a part of the HVAC business. 7 years ago, Schneider Electric decided Rockford was not the place they wanted to continue doing business, and as they were moving, they discovered there's one part of their business that didn't really fit into their business model as well as they'd like. And for a while, I went around. I had, at that point, almost 40 years of experience with all of the HVAC products that
which is something like this. Mm-hmm. So this would be
a pneumatic thermostat.
A pneumatic thermostat sits on the wall, and then you crank this guy up and down and read the temperature. Okay.
As a supervisor for the manufacturing engineers, they asked me to show a whole bunch of other divisions of Schneider Electric the product offering, see if anybody else wanted this to make it a fit. Nobody wanted it. Then when I brought in 12 different contract houses to have a look at it, and some of the contract houses thought, well, I could do some of the products, but not all of them. And eventually somebody foolishly asked me, hey, Mike, why don't you buy it? And I said, well, I think my wife has some other plans. She had just retired from school teaching. And the more I thought about it, this would be an opportunity to save some jobs for Rockford. I really hated to see 200 or 300 jobs go away. Yeah. So I went home that night after the suggestion and said, hey, Kathy, guess what I did today? I bought a company. Do you mind? It took a little getting used to, but I think she's really on board now. She's been
she's an integral part of the operations
partner,
now, too. That's awesome.
Our son also is an owner of the business. The three of us own the business.
Okay.
And now 5 years ago is when we actually made the purchase. We had 33 people that decided they were willing to give it a gamble.
So you came out of this larger organization that's shutting down operations for building components like this, which are needed all over the world, really. And in your experience and expertise, you now manufacture these. And then continue to sell them all over the world with some of the same people that followed you out of that organization.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. People haven't left our business. We've got pretty much the same workforce.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic people.
Yeah.
One of the positives, if it is such a thing for people losing their jobs, is I had a big pool of people to pick from,
Right.
and people that I knew, and knew what they knew, and I also knew what would be a good fit for.
So
chemistry.
this is not the only product you manufacture. How many products do you manufacture?
There's over 400 different products,
Wow.
and then there's also some services we provide.
Okay.
A whole array of pneumatic thermostats. This is the original Barber Colman design. There's a Robert Shaw design 2x2 thermostat that we also build, and they have many variations. There's also accessories, pneumatic relays, positive positioning devices, high-low limit switches.
So a whole range of devices for HVAC components. And you're kind of not stopping there. I know that you brought a third product here, sort of representing, I think, as you explained, it's just the past, the present, and the future.
Yes.
Talk to us about what you're doing off in the future.
Yeah, the pneumatics are on their way out. People are going to the digital world. So we thought we should head in that direction ourselves. So we're going to initially some probe sensors.
Yeah.
These would go into a duct in your HVAC system. And once we introduce that out into the world, we're going to start asking people, what do you need?
Yeah.
Again, going back to the Howard Coleman approach of let's solve other people's problems and make it profitable for both. So we've got quite a number of different duct sensors that we've designed, and hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months we'll be able to get those out and start selling those and morph into this new world as the others are declining.
And so that concept and kind of heartbeat of Howard Coleman, who's this inventor, who's just seeing a problem out there and solving that. That's kind of your thing too, right? And it's
very much so.
You love to solve these problems.
I love. As an example, for many years we were shipping in a chipboard box. Something simple, and it's inexpensive, we thought.
Right.
But we were getting products back where the pneumatic tubing was broken.
Okay.
And we tried to investigate, is it something to do with the parts? Is the material not durable enough? In the end, we discovered that the chipboard box just wasn't sturdy enough to prevent damage to the tube if it's getting crushed. So
and this is not a wire in there, like an electronic wire. This is the airline tubing, essentially.
Yeah. Though I will say there's been some people out in the field that have thought that was something they should hook up electrically, and they had a shock when they discovered it wasn't. But anyways, we went to a corrugated box, and we've done away with that problem.
Yeah.
Frustration for the people in the field, and frustration for us. Simple fix.
Yeah.
But there's a number of those that we do.
Talk to us about one of the challenges. What if you think of, in terms of challenges have you experienced, what's a challenge that you as a team have overcome? Because this whole owning the business side of things is totally new and unique for you, having spent 40 years or something like that in this industry and knowing these products inside and out and solving all sorts of solutions. Now all of a sudden you have business problems to solve, which is a little bit different. Talk to me maybe about one of those challenges and how the team bonded together.
You're very much right about that. We're very good manufacturing. We're all process people. We have really no design engineers, no marketing, no sales function. We were selling strictly back to Schneider Electric, but that's not a good business model. I mean, Schneider Electric's been wonderful to us, but we need to expand our customer base. So one of the biggest problems is nobody knows accounting. Nobody knows how to sell the products. Nobody knows how to market. Fortunately, we found you, Jason, your organization that can help us out along those lines, and you've done some great things. But the biggest problem was just what we didn't know.
Yeah.
Our focus was on the manufacturing. Even in starting the business, we'd never started a business before. Getting your ERP system up for controlling all the bills of material, the parts coming into the business, creating our own inventory. Negotiating a contract with a mega corporation when it's just Kathy and me is quite a challenge. And Ian Lenneberry was just a tremendous help there, our lawyer.
Okay.
Other challenges along the way is not having enough time on our hands to do development work,
Yeah.
to create a future
Because
for
you're
ourselves.
involved in creating hundreds of these types of products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, our focus is process. We're really good process
Yeah.
people and solvers,
Yeah.
problem solvers on the process side.
Now, you not only have products, but you also have services. What are some of these services, and how are those valuable to your customers?
Yes, thank you. One of the things we do is we make wire sets.
Okay.
There's a whole series of wire sets that go into zone valves, the Erie zone valve in hydronic systems. These all go to Schneider Electric to put into their zone valves. But we're hoping we could leverage that into other markets. If other people need wire sets, we do lugging. We can cut to whatever length, strip, back strip. We can,
Various color identification.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
all sorts of different sizes, colors. You name it, we'll do it for you.
Yeah. Any other services you can think of? That,
Yeah, there's and I gotta be careful how I say this. There's old technology circuit boards,
Okay.
through-hole circuit boards that we do.
All right.
I call it hospice care, and
Okay.
people are going away from
Yeah.
through holes and
So
going,
a through-hole circuit, so for the people who are listening to this broadcast and they don't know what we're talking about, through-hole is as opposed to what? What's the other technology?
surface mount
Okay.
is the technology everybody's going to now.
Okay.
And with a through hole, you've got components that have little legs that are going through holes in the circuit board.
Yeah.
Surface mount,
And
there's
then you
a,
solder the back end and hold the thing in.
right.
Okay. And surface mount is what?
It's a board that's, they paste components into the proper location, and they've got pick and place equipment that does that all automatically. We're still very hand fed, not the most recent technology, because it's stuff that Schneider Electric didn't want, so,
Yeah.
and we were willing to take it on. But I know there's other companies out there that probably have some through-hole products that the life expectancy is not long.
Yeah.
And if we could help them continue it for a little while, we'd sure like to give it a chance.
Yeah. And you're kind of at a pivotal moment here with Crandall Stats and Sensors. I have it on good authority that like your domain name and some of the things you're doing and your reach is going to be expanding and changing a little bit with some changes here in the future. We don't have to talk about them now, but it's great timing, I think, because you're not only carrying on this legacy, but now you are at a pivotal moment where you're going to be launching and growing and getting into the future of components. So I think it's pretty exciting that people can watch Crandall Stats and Sensors in your development. Now, you have how many employees?
Right now we've got 30.
30 employees. All right. And you know how important it is to show appreciation to your employees.
Oh, absolutely. We've got the best.
All righty. Well, we have a great way to show appreciation to your employees with a great group of people that we know called Poopsies, which is a fun kind of adventuresome shop in downtown Galena. I think you're familiar
We've been
with
there.
You've been to
That's
Poopsies.
great fun going there.
It is
Yes,
fun, yes.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, you can also order online at poopsies.com. One of the things I love about Poopsies is they introduced this corporate appreciation gift box for busy people like you who want to show appreciation but have no time. You can call up Poopsies and talk to a special person. You can describe exactly who the personality of the person you're shopping for, and they'll get you the perfect gift. And so we've gone out on a limb, and through the Poopsies Corporate Appreciation gift box, got you a gift. Told you they're going to throw it.
Okay.
I don't even know what's in this box, but this is the Poopsies Corporate Appreciation gift box. This is drum roll time while you open the
Open it
Poopsies.
now?
Yeah. You have to struggle through it on your own. That's the rules.
I see.
It's the rules of all gift wrapping. You must struggle through it on your own. Oh, what'd they get here?
Got some brilliant gold thinking putty.
Thank you, buddy. All right.
Is that?
Yeah, right.
And who says this job is stressful? I'm 28 and I feel great.
And a magnet.
Wow.
A magnet on your new journey. So we got a thinking putty and we got a magnet. Who says this job is stressful? Which I'm sure it's not stressful for you, is it?
Not in the least.
Not in the least. That's exactly right. So if you want a not stressful job, you should call up Mike and he'll give you his. Right?
Yeah.
So tell us, how do people get a hold of you and Crandall Stats and Sensors if they need not only maybe these components, or maybe they need some custom wire, or they need you to just solve a problem for them in HVAC world? How do they get in contact with you?
Well, we would ask them to visit us at our website at csands.net until we convert to this new one that's in the process, but csands, SANDS.net.
Awesome. And they could speak to you and somebody else and get to the bottom of whatever they're needing, yeah?
Yes.
That's awesome. And you to clarify, you sell wholesale, you also sell direct?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for being on the What Works, the Midwest Manufactured Live broadcast. We also have a What Works podcast. I slipped up there, which we're going to get you on. But Midwest Manufactured Live is brought to you by Thinker Ventures Business Development Company, where you can find out the stories of great manufacturers and what they're doing in their region. This has been Mike Crandall with Crandall Stats and Sensors, as we've heard not only about the past, the present, and his future. If you want to subscribe live to Midwest Manufactured Live, you can get the live broadcast on YouTube. You can also catch replays at midwestmanufactured.com. And we will look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice.